Hi guys, this is JP from FSiPanel. Welcome to this video where I will show you how to use FSiPanel 2020 with the Majestic Q400 Pilot or Pro version. As always, now with the new versions, we need to load the aircraft anywhere in the world. So let's go to P3D and I will select, as you can see on the left side of the screen now where my mouse is, we see that there is no aircraft compatible detected. That's completely normal. So we are going to select any Majestic aircraft. So I will take the Q400 Air Berlin, for example. That's good. We don't need to set the location. I'm happy like this. Just click OK. Then the Dash 8 will load. And here we are in the simulator on the Dash 8 400. So we can see that the switches are not in the right place. We can see there that the prop are ready to high RPM. That doesn't really matter. There is two options here with FSiPanel. First of all, make sure you have the correct weight, the weight that you want for your training. And you have two options given to you. Either you will start the engines and you will make sure that your attitude is aligned, or you will let FSiPanel do it for you. So we'll try the second options. We'll let FSiPanel do it for us and we'll see if it works. So basically my dash is now ready. I will go to FSiPanel. I can see that my Majestic Dash 8 Q400 has been detected. So let's try a quick approach. We can keep the same airport as we are now, which is the default P3D airport. I will select, for example, left-hand vectors for this ILS. Flaps 15 is good, so that's perfect for me. Just before we start the approach, I'll show you, what are the options for Majestic. So if you go to Setup, Majestic, you can see the default landing flaps, either 15 or 35. And as well, you can see whether you want or not the Reduce NP landing. If you put Reduce NP, you will have 850 RPM on final with the prop level to max. So that's for nose reductions. It's quite nice. So you can activate it or deactivate it as you like. As well, we have the after landing flow. So after landing, you just vacate your runway, retract one step of flaps, and then FSiPanel will kick in and will basically do the after landing flow that your first officer will do, or that you will do if you're a first officer. And then when FSiPanel is doing that, you have all options to taxi the aircraft to the gate without having to look up or down. This is a nice feature, I think. So let's see now how we fly this approach. So I've selected everything. My engines, as we've seen before, are off. So we let FSiPanel start the engine. So this is one option. The other option is to start the engine, be ready, and now click Move Aircraft. So let's try this. I will click Move Aircraft. And now we'll see what happens. Normally, the engine should be started by FSiPanel. We see now the engines are about to get started. So we just need to wait. We don't touch anything as always. You see the message on top, starting your engine, please stand by. The engine now started. Now the flaps will be set to 5 normally. We can see the flaps moving. And now we should be positioned in vectors. So let's see that. Here we are. So remember that with the Dash 8 there is no auto throttle. So make sure you had your thrust to maintain the correct speed. So I'm just moving my thrust, my power lever, to maintain around 160 knots, which is a good speed on vectors. We see that we are reaching 3,100 feet. My speed is 160, perfect. My nav setting is done. And my cockpit has been set up. And now we are ready to take over control. Aircraft ready for your training. As you can see on the Dash 8, the aircraft is moving forward. This is not a problem. Don't worry if you cross the localizer. Don't worry if you're on final and you get too close to the runway. As soon as you take over the control, you will be positioned again – back to your final approach. to the correct position. So, okay, sorry, that was exactly in your view. So let me show you again. Now we are crossing the localizer, no problem. I can still program my FMC, do all the setup that I want. And when I'm ready, I just hold my brake 2 seconds. So let's do that now. And you see we are back exactly at the right position. And now I can arm my approach, lock and glide slope arm, and we can basically fly this approach. Okay, let's see, we want to do, now let's try a final approach position. So I will go back to FSiPanel and let's make a long final. And this time we're gonna try a flaps 35, or let's try flaps 15 first, and click Move Aircraft. Let's see what happened here. The flaps should be moving to 15. And now the aircraft will be positioned on final. Remember that you're responsible for the thrust. So gear is going down. FSiPanel will program everything for you. Remember just to set up your thrust, your power, sorry, to maintain the approach speed. So here we are talking about 140 knots. The bug is set, so we just have to fly this. You see we have reduced NP landing. Perfect. Condition levers maximum, all good. Our cockpit lights are set. And we are ready to take over control. So you see now the message on top, aircraft ready for your training. We are moving ahead again, do not worry about this. You see I'm way too high, no problem. As soon as I take over control, I will be brought back to the correct position. So let's do it now. I hold my brake and I'm back to the correct position. Now I can approach, localizer is captured and glide slope is coming. I'm ready to fly my approach. So this is the way you fly with the Dash 8. Let's try now to land and see the after landing flow. Okay, 1000 feet, we stabilize. I take it manually and we are going to land there and we will check our after landing flow. This new feature of FSiPanel 2020 that will let you basically taxi the airplane with heads up, looking for your taxiways while your first officer is doing your after landing flow. To trigger the after landing flow, the only thing you have to do is retract your flaps one step and that's it. FSiPanel will do the flow for you. So let's concentrate on that landing first. It's a long time I didn't fly a Dash 400. I used to be current on that aircraft long time ago. It's a beautiful airplane, by the way, and the job done by Majestic is unbelievable. This is really a nice airplane. Very, very, very close to the real aircraft. So we are coming down. I'm on the PAPI. The speed is under control. I'm on the PAPI 2 and 2. 3 red, correcting, glide slope looks good, minimums, landing, 100 feet,
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Landing, and we're just going to brake. So to test this feature, what you have to do is make sure your speed is below 30 knots, ground speed, vacate your runway. And now what we will do is retract one step of flaps. That's it. And now FSiPanel is doing the job. You can see your yaw damper went off. You can see that your flaps are moving up. Our lights as well will be set. So everything is done for us. And we just have to taxi our airplane to the gate now. So that's it now. We've tried this. Let's see if we can do another quick approach. We leave the aircraft just like this. And let's say we want to do a short final this time. I just click short final, move aircraft. And we'll see how it works. Remember that you're responsible for the thrust. So here the flaps will be moving to flaps 15. That's the way here you can see. And as soon as the flaps are set, FSiPanel will position the aircraft. Here we are. Add a bit of thrust. Let FSiPanel program everything for you. Make sure your speed you keep your speed above VREF, otherwise autopilot will disconnect. Again, do not worry if you see that you're coming high. No problem. We let everything stabilize. Our speed is set here. 130 is good. So just wait for FSiPanel to give you the control, and then once you have the control, you will be brought back to the position. So here what we are missing is the altitude. As you can see, we're a bit low. This is why FSiPanel is still working on it. And now we have the message on top, ready for your training. So I will hold my brake. I'm back to the correct position. I can arm approach. And we are ready to go. Glide slope is there. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is how to fly FSiPanel 2020 and the Dash 8 400. See you very soon, and as always, happy landings. Bye bye.